another episode. And tonight we've plenty to talk about. Myself and the lovely Tara from Canada. She's Irish blood too, so she's a good one. Listen, we're going to talk about solutions, and really, I shouldn't even have to say this, Tara, but why it's essential to find solutions. And I think even we touched on it, you know, for a lot of people are looking for the easy way out, they're looking for the magic pill. Whereas the reality of it is, it was actually discussed in a conversation with you last week where, okay, you have a problem, spend 95% of your focus and your attention goes on to finding the solution. It's not the easy road. We're not looking for the easy road, because there's two types of hard. In my book, I actually did a reel on this. You either choose the easy road now, but you will have a lifetime of hard. And what do I mean by that? A lifetime of regret, of looking back of what if, why didn't I do that, and all that time. And that goes for relationships, it goes for business, it goes across the board, health and fitness. Or you can choose to stand up and take those steps, find the solutions. Doesn't matter whether it takes 5 times, 10 times, 100 times. Like I said in the bio, it will create strength of character. The more strength of character you create, the more you will lead, because this isn't about telling anyone what you're doing. It is about leading by your actions. So this is why tonight's conversation is important, because it is all solution based, and it is it's reframing your mindset. It's reframing the words you use to yourself of continuously, what is the solution, rather than what do 95% of people do? They focus on the problem. What happens when you focus on the problem? You get more problem. You attract shit into your life. So Tara, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I like it. And good morning from me, your night, I'm morning, which is really cool that we're hopping on here together. And we're talking, this discussion is all about leadership. And it's so true, Derek, what you're saying. Like most people, are focused on the problem. And this conversation is all about leadership. I personally believe that everybody is leading in some capacity in their life. It doesn't matter whether you're leading a household, whether you're leading a business, whether you're leading a team, everybody is leading. It's just whether you're a good leader or not is what is going to define you and either create success or continue creating failure and what you don't want. And this is what separates leaders from people that continue to experience failure. And that is that leaders, they're focused. And I would even say more. I put up a post yesterday and I tagged Derek in it that, Tony Robbins shares that leaders are focused on 95%. They're focused on the solution and only 5% the problem. Now, that is really great. Because most people are focused on the problem. One thing I learned when I started studying with my mentor, Bob, was why would we want to focus any of our attention on the problem? Because by law, when we understand we have these universal laws that govern us, whatever we focus on grows. It's just like the planet. It's like the last couple of years. Yes, we are aware that there is some problems. There are some nasty problems. But why would we continue to focus on the problem? Because all we do is we keep creating the same problems. It's time to focus on the solution. And when you understand that the results you're getting are coming from your subconscious mental program that you act out of automatically, how is that formed even in the first place? It's through repetition. So we want to, through repetition, focus on the solution. Now, look at everything in our society, the news, media. It's negative. And it's through repetition that we continue to take in all this negative, right? The economy, right? The economy is crashing. People are dying. There's this virus. It's going to take over the world. We're constantly bombarded through repetition of the negativity of the problem. So we are programmed to focus on the problem. And that is really focused on fear. And fear is the fastest way to control people. It's the fastest way to control the masses. And this is why only a small amount of people on this planet are really leading. And so, this conversation is about leadership. We want you to stop focusing on the problem. Focus all your energy on the solution, because this is what separates leaders from people who continue to experience failure, is that leaders, they're aware there's a problem, but they're putting all their energy into the solution. And I think that is like absolutely key in this conversation, because again, we're just acting automatically. We're acting out of the repetition of all the negativity, all the problems that are constantly in our face.
100%. And like something that struck me, I know I used to operate out of, Jesus Christ, 100% negativity. So I'll give you an example. And I know there's people out there going, yeah, I'd wake up in the morning and my first thought, it was 50-50. It could be good one, but more often it was negative. So once I had that negative thought, it just grew and grew. So that's where my energy was, where my attention, it's where my focus was going. So that was determining my mood. It was determining my results. It was determining my results in every way. And I always, we all have an infinite amount of ability and resources within, but it does take, like I was thinking about this conversation before we got on. And the amount of people I talk to, the amount of people I know, and I'm including friends in this, that, they want a better life. And we will take even fitness, for example. They want, oh, do you know what? I want to be fit and I want to be healthy, leading by example, as we say. But they don't invest. And like at the end of the day, guys, it's about facing up. It's about facing up to your own bullshit. And it's about whether it's investing in a course, investing in a coach, a mentor, investing into something, because the same people who I notice, who I come into contact with, are buying the latest iPhone, are buying the latest, and then they turn around and don't invest into themselves, but bitch and moan about not getting results. So that, listen, probably will trigger a lot of people what I've said, but back to what I was saying. So for most people, it does start internally, because we've touched on a 98% mindset, right? It's 98% mindset. And what we mean, I'm not going to get too much into the thought process today, but it's going to be your internal language, and it's going to be what you think. And what Tara touched on, especially the last 2.5 years, I gave up watching the news. I do not watch the newspaper because it is negative, it is rubbish, and most of it is lies. But people are getting, I would say, infected by this. And it is fear, because fear is what holds most people back from ever finding their own version of success. But when you can change that, and this isn't easy, this is the work. So this is the first thing I'd say, and it's not even a tip. It's when you apply it, you will get the result, is when you find yourself having some type of negative thought or the internal voice, just change it. It's not going, oh, I have to think positively, but just change it to what you want. So you're having a negative thought, what you don't want. So if you can think about and change that picture, change that video to something you do want. Now, is this automatically going to change your life? No. But again, what the Tara said is putting the reps in. The more reps you put in, the better you will get. And I'm pretty sure you will start to see results. But the biggest thing that holds people back is time, Tara. They don't put enough time into it. It goes back to that magic pill. They want a quick solution. It's like people asking me, hey, I want to get into shape. I see you're in shape. Yeah, what supplements do I take? Like, why would you be even asking me a question like that? You go to train X amount of times a week. You lead a clean, healthy life. Supplements are only 1% of it. But you see, there's the issue. Now, here's 99% of the solution, but people are wanting that 1%. That doesn't work. You have to turn that around. And that is, listen, what I said, I have to do it on a daily basis. I have to be able to cultivate better thoughts. I have to be able to say, oh shit, there's that internal voice that's trying to hold me back. And that's always going to be there, especially when you're leading the way. But if you're in a situation where you're stuck, you're not happy, and I know there's a lot of people out there not happy, there's solutions to everything. So it's taking your attention off the problem, whatever amount of time you spend on it, don't spend long on it, and actually going, what's the solution? But that is where the work is. But at the other side of that will be your result, and is the success that people want ultimately.
Yeah, I like that. And I love your no BS approach, Derek. I love how you just lay it out and you just say it, because it's so true. Thinking about the latest iPhone, people don't buy what we don't buy what we need. We buy what we want. So when you look at your results in your life, and this is about leadership. So are you leading in your life? And you just have to look, take a look at your health and fitness, take a look at your relationships, take a look at your business, take a look at the bottom line of, your business and your finances. Like, are you really leading? So when you look at the results that you're getting, they're always telling you the truth. So if you want to get better results, it's not a quick fix. It just isn't. And I think that this is the problem right now, that we are all aware of, right? It's comfort and complacency. We don't buy what we need. We buy what we want. So you're going to have to want it. You're going to have to want to get better results. You're going to have to want to get into the best shape of your life. And it's going to take work. It is not easy. We are now, in the way that we live now, is everything is so comfortable. We don't even have to get up to change the television anymore. Yeah. Like, there is so much comfort and complacency. And I mean, the reality is exactly what Derek's saying, is there's not a quick fix here. Everyone's looking for a magic pill. It is really sad, actually, that the diet industry, that the supplement industry, it's $1 billion industry, and yet people are getting fatter on this planet. I mean, that's a reality. So the solution is not to go and take a supplement. Supplements are great. I mean, I love taking really great supplements, but the real magic, the magic is getting your butt off the couch and doing what you need to do. And that's what leaders do. Leaders are focused on the solution. They're taking action. They're putting all their focus on creating those healthier habits that are going to move them to the results that they want. And it sucks. It does at first. Why does it suck at first? Because you don't see the results that you want. You go to the gym, right? You work with the trainer and you look in the mirror, and when you come back and you're like, okay, I don't see any changes. So you go to the gym, you work out again, you look in the mirror, you don't see any changes. You go and you do it again. Now, after maybe a few weeks, if you get that far, you might quit because you don't see the changes. But the changes are happening. They're very subtle. You don't see them, but it is the reps. It's exactly what Derek's saying. It's the repetition, right? So, it's just like your teeth. You got to brush your teeth every day. Just because you go to the dentist twice a year, that doesn't keep your teeth healthy. It's the daily repetition of brushing your teeth, and yet you don't notice it. But if you quit brushing your teeth would fall out, right? You get cavities and your teeth wouldn't be in great shape. So it does take work. But once it becomes a habit, like brushing your teeth is a great example. It's not hard. It's automatic. Again, you're acting out of that automatic part of yourself, which is the subconscious. You wake up, you brush your teeth. If you arrive to this call and you didn't brush your teeth, and it's like late where Derek is, or even the morning where it is for me, which is 9:30, you didn't brush your teeth, you'd be like, something is wrong. Like, you wouldn't feel good. So that's why at first it does take the reps. It does take the hard work. You don't see the changes at first. But again, it's what we do every single day. And that's why accountability and having really great coaches and mentors is so key, because you need somebody to kick you in the ass when you're like, that's it, I give up. It's too hard. It's not working. Because that's what your programming is going to say. It's going to just quit.
Yeah, it's true. Like, it's funny, like, when we decide what we're going to talk about, there's always, it's like the universe is telling me, because I was reading somebody who I really like to follow. And as he said, like, just nobody does it by themselves. There's just not. Anybody that gets on in life does not do it by themselves. Now, I'm sure if someone wants to have a comment and wants to challenge me on that, because, we're up for debates here as well. And, it's everybody can have their own voice to do. Like, feel free to comment. But it is interesting. You see, when it comes down to doing the work, it's fine to want something and to say it, but it's different to be actually intentional over a long period of time and not see results, like Tara said. But it's the invisible stuff you're doing that compounds and compounds. And for a lot of people, we touched on this a few weeks ago, and I touched on it in the group coaching a couple of times, where you see the picture and there's a guy and he's clipping at the wall and he's just about through, but he gives up. And this is the breakthrough. People just stop before the breakthrough a lot of the time because they feel, oh, this doesn't work because I've not got the results. Well, that's the world condition, and that's the bullshit we're talking about from the news. It's maybe something on social media, whereas these conversations, masterclasses, are important because it's real, it's proven stuff, like from Tara's vast experience, and Tara's a lot more experienced than me. I have some experience, and I'm certainly, don't know everything, but we do talk about what we know here. And when you're able to set yourself up and go, right, when we will say that thought comes in and you're just able to go, right, that thought is not serving me. And it is, listen, it is the toughest thing to do, to be able to actually do something to break that. And when you do, because Tara talked about the subconscious, the only way in there is by creating something different. So if you're continuously doing the same thing over and over and getting the same result, like I would go as far as saying 95% of people in the world are not living the life they want, then something has to change on this side. And that's the gateway in. It's to do with your mindset. It's what we're doing with pictures and videos, your internal voice, but it's also the main is done through the physical work. Now, then that creates a pattern, because we can't undo, I don't know, 10, 20. For me, it was like, Jesus Christ, 30 something years of shitty conditioning. That can't be undone in a couple of years. And I haven't undone it all, believe me. And it's always a work in progress. And you're never going to be there either. And I think Tara will have something to say on this, but you will never be there. That's always going to want to take you back down. You will always want to go back to your old condition. It's like putting on your iPhone, putting it back on default. That's always there. So like people talk about potential. I'll help you reach your potential. Well, that's bullshit, because like you reach that point, you want to go next, and that's living. That's what's going to keep you alive. And what we talk about is around health, fitness, and wealth. Because what is wealth? Wealth is wealthy relationships, having some money in the bank, having a healthy body, having a healthy internal world. And that's, where you can put your focus. And when you do, and you decide, right, I'm going to find solutions, and it's not going to happen over 12 weeks. I said it last week. I think it's a year, Tara, for a habit. Maybe it's a bit longer. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I think it's just however long that you've been working on the bad habits. And just that reminder, and such a great share, Derek, is like, we never, ever get rid of our bad habits. I think that's where you think, oh, I'm done, right? No, I work on me every day. And the only way to get rid of those bad habits from showing up, and that negative programming, it is what we do every day. And we've got to we replace a negative program that was given to us. We replace those negative habits with healthier habits. But as soon as we stop doing the work, right, then the negative habit is going to come back in. So you could, get a 6-pack abs and be in the best shape of your life. And I'm done. I've made it. No, because a year from now, if you go back to the way you were living before, the abs are gone. You're not going to feel very good. The thought energy is going to be back to those fatty thoughts, and you're going to have extra weight, and you're not going to feel very good. So I think like that, this is the big challenge here, is that, we think that we'll be happy when. It's like when we get to this place, or we'll be healthy when, or we'll be fit when. It is a progressive. It is a daily chipping away and investing in ourselves, whether that is investing in your coach and your mentor, whether that is, really studying you, whether that's going for your daily workout and your walk. There has to be some daily action. And I would say like forever, because yeah, sure, you can take a day off. That's not a problem. You can go on vacation. You might go to Hawaii and go on a vacation, and you take it easy. Well, that's okay. But it's what we do every day that's going to make the biggest difference in our life. So this is a thing, guys. If you want to get healthier, if you want to feel more vibrant, if you want to grow your finances, it's what you do every day. That's why my mentor, Bob, he had more energy than most 20-year-olds in his late 80s. And he would say that. He'd say, I got work to do. And it's harder to not do the work. And that's why he did the work, because he was able to help people all around the world. He was able to create really incredible results, but he was continually working on himself. And, it's all about our standards. We don't reach our goals. We reach our standards. So if you want to get better results in your life, you're going to have to raise the bar. Like, you're going to have to raise your standards. Now, if you're not sure currently what your standards are, just take a look at your life, honestly. Take your clothes off, look at your body in the mirror, right? It's going to show you your standards. This is your temple. Why would you not want to take care of your body every day for the rest of your life? Take a look at the kind of food that you buy. Take a look at the kind of people that you spend time with. That is a reflection. Take a look at your relatives, right? Your first mentors were your parents. What are their standards? That's all programming. So if you want to get better results, you're going to have to raise the bar. You're going to have to have higher standards. And it's going to take work. But work is really good, because if you don't do the work, it's harder to do the work. I know what not doing the work looks like. It sucks. It is much harder to not do the work than it is to do the work. We are either moving forward and we're growing and we're getting better and better. And that's the way that we're meant to live as spiritual beings. Spirit is for fuller expansion and expression. That's why it's healthy to want. That's why it's healthy to grow. We're either moving forward and growing as we're meant to, or we're going backwards. We're slowly dying. We're decaying. We're getting old. We're getting, fat. We're unhappy. So our creator gives us a choice. We get a choice. We can either do the work and move forward, and it's going to be uncomfortable, or we go backwards and we get stuck in comfort and complacency. And that's the empowering thing here, is that you are the problem, but you are also the solution. And that's empowering, because that's that place from, I get to take my power back. I get to choose how I want to live my life. I get to choose the standard of living. I get to choose whether I'm going to be a real leader or whether I'm going to be just a failure or maybe even a dictator, right? I get to choose.
Yeah, well, everyone gets to choose, Tara, their lives, like, and unfortunately, we're here, and I honestly don't want anybody to, because I feel, right, I used to feel, I would say, that I can waste this all my life, but I actually know now those experiences have helped me. So if you are in a situation, you're stuck in anything and stuck in any type of vice, feeling unworthy, feeling whatever, like there is limitations. It's really, when we talk 98% mindset, it is all in your mind, because everybody starts somewhere, but they have to start within the moment, within the day, and it is a day-to-day process. And me and Tara aren't here saying you're not going to make mistakes and fail. That's guaranteed, by the way. That is guaranteed, those two things. And they are essential for growth. They're essential to empower you. They're essential for your belief. And when we connect it into the subconscious, because that's how it will create new patterns, and it will open up some more possibility, some opportunity for each and every one of you. But that comes back to what we are talking about. It is finding the solution. And that could be, listen, it could start with something simple. It could be you have to fix something in your house. Do you know how many people just leave stuff? And it's like Tara said, it's like, I don't want to cook tonight. You know what? We have an app. You have an app. We'll just get a takeaway. But if you're on a fitness regime, please ask yourself the question. I get all my clients to ask this before making a decision. Is this taking away from your life, or is this adding to your life? If you just said that one thing, lads, it would make a huge difference. Believe me, I've been on my couch nights when I've been dieting to get lean, and I'm going, who'll know if I have a curry now? I'll just press that button. No, you just have to stop yourself. So I understand we all go through it. And that curry is not the solution if I was wanting to get to where my physical results have been. But this goes across all parts of your life. It's essential to look after your physical well-being and essential to look after your mental well-being. And that is, it boils down to, if you were willing, then you were capable. And if you have the two of those and you persist with not giving up, because that is only fear. It is people afraid to do something, maybe, and you'll piss people off along the way, by the way. People won't want you. A lot of people in your circle won't want you to do well, but you'll break free from a lot of that, and you'll actually help people. They might not say it to you, because I know a lot of people look at live videos like this, but they don't put their hand up. They don't ask a question, which is perfectly fine, but they do get something out of it. And that's all that matters. So what I would like to leave with is this, and it's a challenge. I'm Tara, sure she has a challenge she can think about, is, listen, if you were leaving something on the long finger, What is it? You can make a note of it, or is there something you can do right now? Because again, less talking and more action will get you to the solution. Once you get the solution, it will get you to the result. And if you're looking at it from an holistic point of view, I know there's a lot of people on my page probably out of shape that do, want to get not only physically fit, but mentally fit. What can you do? Is there something you can do now? Because it's not too late in Europe. Could you go for the walk? Is that maybe that little inspiration that you need, giving yourself the inspiration? And that's what we mean by finding solutions. They're all over the place. They're everywhere to be found. But you just have to get up and go and find it. And once you do, listen, it can set you free over time, but there's nothing guaranteed. And I can't guarantee I'll be 100% tomorrow, but what I can do, I've had a good day today. And when you can look back and actually review and reflect on your day and go, do you know what? I did what I could. That's enough, by the way, because that attitude will compound over time. And you might have a bad day or two, because there's no one on this planet can operate at a high peak levels 7 days a week. But when you do have a bad day, at least you've done something. And then you actually wake up the next day and go, do you know what? I'm glad I did that. And I'm glad I didn't go back to default settings. So that's how I will leave tonight's life.
Yeah. And I think that it's the compounding of healthy little habits, right? It's like, so for instance, when I start my day, I don't go to caffeine. I don't go to sugar. I don't go to gluten. I mean, I have some warm water and lemon. I mean, right there. Woohoo, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be massive. You don't have to go and work out for 2 hours. Like if you're having one of those days and it's a down day, celebrate those wins. I mean, we are addicted in our society to excitotoxins. We are looking for dopamine hits. That's why we are addicted to these media platforms and the news. So, give yourself those dopamine hits when you do something. And that's going to add up, because many of you, what Derek's sharing around, maybe you beat yourself up and you don't do what you say you're going to do. So then you just beat yourself up more. That's like pouring liquid Drano down your throat. Like, stop it. Celebrate the little wins, because the little wins, again, it's going to compound. It's like if you want to save money, $1 a day adds up. A penny a day adds up. Rome wasn't built in a day. So you just start where you are, even if it's baby steps. And one thing around leadership, I know for me, one thing that has helped me when I haven't felt like doing something, because this is the difference between leaders and failures. Professionals create. That's why Derek and I are here. We're not in competition with each other. We're here supporting each other, and we're here because we want to support you. Amateurs, right? Amateurs compete. So this is leadership. Leadership is a creative energy, right? And so I want to remind you of that too. You don't need to compare yourself to anybody. First of all, you're a snowflake. There's nobody else on this planet like you. You are perfect. You are imperfectly perfect. Keep taking those steps forward. But what I would want to share with you that I do is I have people that inspire me and that I look up to. And when I have those bad days, one of them is Nick Vujicic. I'm probably saying his last name wrong. This guy is amazing. He was born with no arms and no legs. Can you imagine that? Those days where you're feeling sorry for yourself, right? You're having a hard time getting off the couch, and you're not doing your workout, and you're eating chips and maybe drinking too much beer or something, and you're just not feeling good, whatever it is, or you're just feeling sorry for yourself. Well, you got to kick yourself in your own ass. Like you look at somebody like Nick, born with no arms and legs. The guy plays soccer, he surfs, he's a motivational speaker, he's amazing. I couldn't even imagine. You woke up, you have arms, you have legs, celebrate, woohoo, like gratitude, so much gratitude. And when you're feeling crap, there's always somebody that has it way worse than you. And I know some of you are stuck. Some of you are in really bad situations. So I'm not taking any of that away from you. Derek and I have both experienced some pretty shitty, circumstances and situations. We get it. Sometimes things are really tough, but guess what? There's always somebody who has it much worse off. And if maybe, like for me, I love listening to Nick. He's great, right? It's like, man, if this guy can do it, I can do it. Like, I got to get out of my own pity party and I got to kick my own ass and I got to get moving forward. And you need to surround yourself. That's why mentorship and coaches and surrounding yourself with mastermind or people that are positive, that are going to kick you in the ass, that you can look up to, that are not going to feed your negative habits. Those are the people you want to surround yourself with. Now, as far as a practice I would give you, I would say, again, it's always around, what do you want? I think you have to take an honest look at your life. If you're not happy with your life, well, what do you want instead? And write that down, like, get it out of you, get it on a piece of paper. I mentioned that a few sessions back, get it on a piece of paper. And then what I would say is take a piece of paper, draw a line down the center. On the left side of the piece of paper, write down all the non-productive actions that are working against what you want. Those are all those bad habits, right? So for instance, if you want to be in the best shape of your life and you can run, I was talking with a girl yesterday, you'd love to run 5 kilometers and feel, joy and vibrant in your body. Well, what's the negative things that are what are the bad habits? I call them non-productive actions, right? It's like, maybe first thing in the morning, you're getting stuck on Facebook. And unless you're coming to our session, if you're not coming to our session, you're probably scrolling and you're getting stuck in a lot of negative media, right? So you're going to write down all those negative habits, those non-productive actions. Now on the right side, I want you to write down the polar opposite. So what's the polar opposite of getting stuck on social media? Polar opposite is, I'm going to schedule in time maybe to go on social media, and I'm going to walk first thing in the morning. I'm just going to go for a 30-minute walk. I'm going to breathe deeply, right? So turn all the negative actions, those non-productive actions, into positive. Then what I want you to do, I want you to take and rip the piece of paper in half, straight down. And I want you to take all the negative, all those bad, nasty habits, and I want you to rip them up. I want you to, if the paper's not too thick, flush it down the toilet. The toilet's like it's like the large intestine of your body. It's time to let that crap go. It's very symbolic. It's very energetic of saying, I recognize that there's these habits, there's this programming that is not working. You could burn it, just symbolic of like time to release that. And then take your list. Let's say you have 10 things. Make a commitment that you are going to put the most important, the priority action that you've got to start taking every day, even if it's that one action step every day, and circle it, put it on your fridge or put it in your kitchen. I spend a lot of time in the kitchen. You get it in the kitchen or you get it in your bathroom mirror, and you make a commitment that every day, no matter what, I am going to commit to that action step. Once you get that done and it's a habit, woohoo, right? Then you're going to go on to the next thing. Now, because you can only work on 1 or 2 paradigms at a time, just like you can only work on 1 or 2 healthy habits at a time. So once you get those 1 or 2 and their habit, just like brushing your teeth. I mean, I know Derek loves to work out and go to the gym. I'm sure that that's just a habit. He doesn't need to put that on his list. He gets his butt out and he works out because he's also releasing a lot of feel-good hormones. He loves the HIIT. He's getting endorphins, serotonin, dopamine. He's getting all those. So it's a habit. So you got to pick something that you aren't doing that you know you need to do, and it's going to move you closer to your goals. And that's what I would have you do today. Now, that's a really powerful practice. And I'm probably going to do this practice again myself because this is what I teach. It works. It works when you do the work. It works. It only does not work when you don't do the work. And that's where you get to choose.
Well, that is absolutely gold. Thank you for sharing that. I'm buzzing after listening to that wrap up. So yeah, I'm not going to say if when you apply what Tara has just said, you don't leave any room for not getting results. It is down to you. Listen, action over excuses. So Tara, I appreciate your words of wisdom again for tonight, and we will see everybody next Thursday. Take care.
Sounds good. Bye, everybody.